Welcome to the My Room is on Fire podcast. I am your host, A.H. Tay, and in this podcast, it will be based on giving the most hottest, coldest, and controversial takes on sports, movies, video games, music, and whatever else I decide should be discussed. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to episode 2 of the My Room is on Fire podcast. I'm your host, Tayshawn.
It's your boy, Effie. Let's get right into this.
And right back into episode 2, we're going to dive in where we left on episode 1. Now, we're starting off with the NBA again. Ephraim, Let me hear you, man. You got some stuff to voice, I hear.
Man, Donovan Mitchell.
He's been on fire, huh?
He has been on fire.
That boy's been averaging a 30 ball still.
31 points, 31.2 points per game, 6 assists per game, and 4 rebounds.
Which is insane because his last 2 games, right? He played the Lakers. They played the Lakers on November 6th. 33 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 for 17 shooting. Then he played the Clippers last, 30 points, 1 board, 2 assists, 10 for 15 shooting.
Dog. He is a straight dog.
Now, when you're talking about top scorers in the league, there's no way you can leave out Donovan Mitchell. He's just excelling every time he touches the ball. Every time he touches it, he makes a play and gets a bucket.
I can't remember if I put him in my top 5 or not, but if I left him out of my top 5,
you did,
I would like
indeed
to
did.
apologize to everyone.
Yeah, pretty much everyone run back and listen to what Ephraim said his top 5 was. Because if y'all heard my top 5, I said Giannis, Luka, D. Mitch, and Dame. That was my top 4. And my 5th was, according
Booker.
to NBA rankings, they had Devin Booker. I said Ja, but I had 4 out of the 5.
I had the first 2 out of 5. So, honestly, I don't know, man. It's tough. Donovan Mitchell is just such a good player. He makes everyone around him look especially well.
Considering they've been without Garland for a bit. He just came back not that long ago because he had a little injury on the face. He got like elbowed an eye or something. And they were still going crazy without him. Man. But hold on, this is what I want to dive into. So, the last few games that happened like this past week, some crazy stuff has happened. So now in the East, the Bucks have got their first loss now. They lost against the Hawks without Trae Young. I wanna dive in on that. They were without Trae Young, and they came back and beat them by almost 20.
I was gonna say, wasn't it like 117 to 98?
117 to 98. Yep, they pretty much beat them by 20, and they didn't even have Trae Young.
And it was Giannis playing the full game or just partly?
No, Giannis played a whopping 27 minutes. That was the third highest minutes played on the Bucks.
How many points did he drop?
25. But to be fair, the second highest scorer had 16, which was Drew Holiday, and then Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and Grayson Allen all had 11.
But Drew Holiday is now injured.
Is he?
He is out. He's gonna miss a little bit of time.
Giannis isn't playing, I don't think either, because he has some wrong with him too.
Yep. So they're missing their 2 out of 3 stars.
But look, to be notable too, AJ Griffin, the rookie on the Hawks, 24 points.
He came out of Duke, right?
Let me check.
He had to have come out of Duke. I remember he was a stud.
Yep, he came out of Duke. Yep.
Yeah, he was a dog.
So DeJounte Murray led the team with 25 points, 11 assists, 8 boards, and AJ Griffin was right behind him with 24. And you saw role players going crazy. You had Okongwu with 12, 6, and 2, John Collins with 14 points and just a couple boards, and then DeAndre Hunter with 10 points. Oh, and then Clint Capella, 12 rebounds, solid. So that was interesting to me that the Bucks' first L came to a Hawks team without their star player. Now, another thing I want to note, the Jazz, number 1 in
9-3.
Yeah. That is insane. You would not. Oh my God, they were literally expected to be one of the tanking teams, and they're literally number 1
because they lose Donovan Mitchell, they lose Rudy Gobert, they lose.
And did you say that was a bad trade? Like you say the Cavs won the trade?
Yep, I do. Also,
you ever saw that?
I would love to take that back. I just think
it's just crazy because they literally have so many solid players. There's not one person you will just get a bucket from. They will all give you buckets. Now, just to list some names off the bat, Lauri Markkanen. That man has been so insane for the Jazz. He was super good on the Bulls.
Super good on the Bulls.
Pretty good on the Cavs. But starting with the Jazz right now this season, that boy has been unstoppable. Right now, he's averaging 21.9 points, 8.8 boards, and 2.7 assists.
I do want to know Ochai Agbaji. He came out of Kansas, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's only averaging 3.3 points per game this year. It is also his rookie season. But as soon as he gets developed, watch out because he's going to be scary. and that is a name we got to remember.
And it's crazy because they got other good young players too. They still got Johnny Juzang, who's probably not seeing that much time yet, but probably eventually he will get some.
Really good.
That's what I'm saying. He'll probably eventually get some crunch time minutes and probably ball out. They got Nikhil Alexander-Walker, but I'm pretty sure he's just injured right now. And then they got Leandro Balmaro, who is actually such a solid backup to come in for the Wolves. He's an overseas player too.
What?
Yeah, he was on the Wolves. He got dealt in the trade to the Jazz also.
We gave up a lot of picks for Rudy.
Yeah.
Gobert.
The Jazz are going to be kind of stacked for the next few coming years.
My question for you, since you're a huge Timberwolves fan, how do you feel about that Rudy Gobert trade?
Now, I won't say I'm upset about it. I was so stoked. Now, if you guys didn't know, I was in the delivery room watching my daughter give birth as I got the noti that Rudy Gobert was traded to the Wolves. And I was stoked. I was like, no way we traded for Rudy Gobert. But I was kind of like, I was super iffy about it on, the fact we gave up 4 players and some good picks.
Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt.
I was more upset about Vando and Pat Bev. Pat Bev literally changed our culture, and you can see it now that he definitely made an impact. And Vando... we just loved V8 in general, but he was kind of a paint clogger, and it didn't really mesh well.
He got important rebounds when it mattered.
He did.
In the game.
He was a top rebounder at times, and he was our leading scorer at other times. So I'm definitely upset that we lost some key guys. I was excited to have Walker Kessler at that, but
for sure. I do want to ask you this as well. How do we feel about Karl Anthony Towns? Is he soft for his position?
Oh my God! Here you go. Look, Cat has been the most. What's it called? He has been the most consistent one on the Wolves at the moment. Now, you've had Ant going in pressers, telling them that they've been playing soft, they've been playing, not as great as they could, or talking about he can't get a bucket or he can't get a dunk in because, they're in the paint. And it's like, Ant, bro, you gotta adjust your game. You know that you have a better team now because you got 2 solid big men. You have one that will stay out and shoot and will go in at will if he needs to.
If he has to.
If he has to. And then you have the other one who's basically a screen and roller and they're defensively.
And he can just throw it up and he'll dunk it.
Yeah. Now, if you need him to pick and pop, he will pick and pop and then clear the lane for you. So there's no way he should be complaining about that because that should be even easier for him.
My whole thing with Cat is his defense. When this man is guarding another bigger center, power forward, even a bigger, smaller forward, he plays soft. Okay, this man is 7 foot. Bro.
I won't say soft. He's just kind of a big dummy on defense half the time. Now, if you were to go back and watch the Grizzlies series we had against them in the playoffs just last year,
for sure,
him and Jaren Jackson Jr. went back and forth with damn near or fouling out the game.
Yeah.
Because they are either hacks on defense or they just do stupid things that they know will get called, but they do it anyway. Exactly. And Cat still has a habit of doing that even on the offense. He will do the little kick or the little leg kick out that you're not supposed to do, and they'll call that for an offensive foul. He'll, grab his opponents as he's driving, and you're not supposed to do that, of course. Or, he'll literally, shoulder rush you if he's driving into the paint and just get silly charges. So
for sure,
Cat, he's a good, consistent player. He's able to get you buckets, and he's, pretty good at defense, but he just has his stupid moments, and it's super hard when we know how good Cat can be.
Exactly.
And he just kind of fucks himself up because he just does some silly stuff.
Cat is a very smooth offensive player. I'd like to know this. This man has been in skills challenges. This man has been in a 3-point challenge. He can shoot the basketball. He has good handles for a big man. I just think if he can stay out of foul trouble, the Timberwolves are in great shape.
Bro, if he can stay out of foul trouble, if he can learn not to just jack up stupid shots when they're trailing in a game. Stay calm and collected. It annoys me so much when they scramble to get, last-minute buckets because they're down maybe 7 and there's 2 minutes left. 7 points in 2 minutes, not that much.
No.
Get a little simple bucket. Drive in and get fouled. Get some free throws. Play smart defense. Yep. Don't hack. Don't be dumb and swat at them if they're at the hoop.
I also think the Timberwolves have a team need to stop shooting so many threes in the game.
Well, that's impossible because but we're not a horrible shooting team either.
We're not, but
Cat
it's also
can shoot, and if he's on fire, he can hit. If D'Lo's aggressive and he wants to shoot, he'll hit.
Yeah, but look how many stupid shots D'Lo has thrown up though. This man was 3 for 15.
He didn't throw up stupid shots. He just misses shots we need to go in.
3 for 15 from 3 the other day. You posted that on your Facebook. I was like, that is dog water.
3 for 15 altogether. But it annoys me too because we brought in Bryn Forbes from the Nuggets. And he was supposed to be like our new shooter since we got rid of Beasley, and he is not. If we put him in to like probably get some quick threes, he's not hitting. And it's annoying because like we brought you here to specifically shoot get some threes, and you're not hitting a three. So, but no, I love our bench so much, bro. Jordan McLaughlin is such a great passer. He has spectacular vision, bro. I love seeing J-Mac play. Torian Prince, he's actually been such a good three-point shooter this season for us.
He is sneaky.
That boy will come off the bench and drill like 3 threes for us when we need it. So, shout out TP12. Naj Reid, he is our backup big, and Naj Reid comes down and plays with so much energy and so much oomph.
I love it.
Like, bro, he will also pop threes when we need it. He's so great on defense. He can get some really good boards. Mm-hmm. Like, Naj Reid is a complete backup big, too, and I can see him competing on a good team.
Yeah.
But, our starters is where, like, y'all got to start that off, bring the energy to the, secondary, and let them continue with that pace, and then y'all come back in and keep that pace up and kind of bring it up more.
I also do just think, like you were saying, the starters have to start off the game on a run.
Yeah.
If you are not starting off the game on a run, you are leaving that up to your bench. Like, not saying that our bench is completely horrible, but our bench is not like the Warriors. It's not like we're going to come in just having three-point shooters.
Our bench against, like, mediocre teams or semi-good teams, we're not going to, like, do horrible against them. But if we're going against the top teams, say if we're going against
Memphis, Golden State,
Memphis, the Bucks, the Suns, as we're going against right now,
right?
They won't be able to do that much because they're going against the top guys, the top starters, and they're not. They got to pick up on where you guys left off, and that probably isn't as great.
No,
and now they got to come in and try and kind of pick up the slack and pick up the energy, and bring you guys back into the game. Like, I want to win.
Exactly, and it's just so easy for them to come in and start shooting threes because we're down when half of them aren't 3-point shooters.
Yeah, so it's super annoying to watch, and I love the team so much, but they make it so unwatchable at times.
I do want to quote this. I got a Chris Broussard quote for you. It says, "He's better than Kevin Durant. Giannis is the best player in the world. Luka's second. KD has never led his own team to a championship. Luka will multiple times." How do we feel about that comment?
Now, I don't like when people make assumptions like that. Considering Luka's in, his 4th year, and KD's in, his 15th season now, that's an 11-year span. KD is arguably one of the best scorers we've ever seen in the NBA.
Top 10.
He's fucking 7 feet tall and able to do shit a 6'4" point guard can do.
Exactly.
He's able to shoot over anyone.
Best mid-range ever.
One of the best mid-ranges ever. He's able to shoot over anyone at will because he's just like that. And, I can't say I agreed with his Golden State moves, but he did add some chips and finals MVPs under his belt. So
I'm not going to lie. I did like KD also going to Golden State, just to provide Steph Curry and Klay Thompson a little bit more help. Like, granted, they had Draymond and they had Harrison Barnes, but you add KD who can shoot.
But the thing is, the Warriors were such a solid team starting from 2015. Like, they had such good guys. They had good, solid role players. They had good backup guys. And their starters were just beautiful to watch. And then you add a cheat code in Kevin Durant. Like, okay, but you can see why people are, of course, upset about that.
I do get that, but also LeBron went from Miami back to Cleveland as well. But I also get that because the Heat were starting to kind of expand all on their own. Dwayne Wade, I think retired or something like that.
Dwayne Wade was pretty much leaving his prime. Chris Bosh was kind of faded out at that point.
Yeah.
LeBron was having some problems with people on the bench.
Yeah.
And those people, they just weren't like who they were for their championship runs and playoff runs.
But also, I think part of the reason why I think Kevin Durant joined the Warriors was to win some rings.
Pretty much. It was literally just a ring hopping thing to do.
Because, he needed that for his Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Now, saying Luka will lead his own team, as in the Mavs, to multiple championships,
I wouldn't say multiple.
That's such a far-fetched fable to say because, like, Luka's basically been penned as like the selfish ball hog guy that will try and do it all himself and not get his teammates included. Now, you're going to have to get your teammates included. You're going to have to be willing to give up the ball all the time, sacrifice not having it only in your hands. You got to learn how to, provide for your offense and defense without touching the ball.
But this man is averaging 36 points.
Now, yeah, he's an offensive machine, of course.
Damn near 40
That doesn't mean he'll be
dog?
a 30-point-per-game scorer forever.
That's true. That is very true. I think he probably eventually over his career will probably dip down closer to 25 or 27.
Yeah, they say you're kind of starting to enter your prime once you hit around 26, 27. And Luka's, 23 right now?
Is he actually 23 years old?
Something like that. So, yeah, Luka's still pretty young, so he still has years until he officially enters his prime. But, the way he's playing now will not work forever. You see how that works for James Harden with the Rockets. He was pretty much a 40 points per game scorer. He's dropping 40, 50 bombs every other night. They were literally building that team around him, bringing him people he wanted and needed and thought would work to win. And it all literally came crumbling down. They rebuilt. Now they have a super young core, and they don't have horrible guys. They're just, not that meshed together to win yet.
Exactly.
But you see how it ended for James Harden. He had all the talent. He had everything he wanted on that team, and he still didn't. He came out close, but an injury kind of sent them off the rails.
That's what railed him.
Man, so Luka, I'd compare the Luka thing to Harden.
Luka. 36 points per game, 8 assists per game. 8 rebounds per game. He is 23 years old.
He is 23. So, he can be like Harden and probably get key pieces because they'll want to build around him. But he has to also learn how to work with those pieces and, make his team into a championship team.
Exactly.
I thought it was a good move when they added Christian Wood. Because Christian Wood is, so solid, and I felt like he was wasting so much of his talent on the Rockets because, they're a young team. They're not going to go anywhere. I want him to go somewhere good that will contend. And seeing how the Mavs just made it to the goddamn, our conference finals last year?
Conference finals, yep.
Against the Warriors, and, of course
obviously
they lost.
Steph and Clay.
Yeah, but, they finally prevailed past the first or second round, 1-2.
But I do like Spencer Dinwiddie. I like Luka. Mm-hmm. I like Josh Green. He is young. I like JaVale McGee, even though he is older. Christian Wood, like you were saying. That's kind of like your mains, but it's I guess you got Tim Hardaway too as well.
Yeah, he's a good little 3-point shooter. He's key. Reggie Bullock, he has his on and off games.
Ups and downs for sure. I just feel like
they added Facu from the Nuggets.
Facu or fuck you,
Facundo, however you say his name. But they added him from the Nuggets, and he was a very good dimer on their team. They kind of called him a baby Tony Parker.
Dog, I think for the Mavs to get past that second round into the actual finals, I think they are going to have to make a trade.
They're either going to have to make some more key trades. Well, they're definitely have to make more key trades, and they're also going to have to learn to kind of, have Luka detached from only wanting to score and trying to, get 30 points and, chuck up 20, 30 shots, because that's just going to drain him. That's not going to help for the team.
Because let's remember, Luka was injured for a little bit last year too. And what did the Mavs do? They sucked.
Yeah,
they sucked.
Yeah,
they were horrible.
It's kind of hard to kind of expect your team to mesh together when your main guy that only really touches the ball and kind of dots them at the 3 or throws them in the paint, or they're coming in there to crash and get a putback. They're not going to mesh that well if they're oh my God, we don't have Luka. Now we got to actually handle the ball. Now we got to actually figure out how to score.
That's why I was actually a little pissed that Jalen Brunson left.
Yeah, because he could have became a scapegoat, and they could have easily built around Luka and Jalen.
Yeah, because even when Luka was sitting, you'd have Jalen Brunson running your point.
Yeah.
He's still a good dude, right? But yeah.
All right, so I also want to get into the games through November 7th. So we got the total points, assists, boards, blocks, steals, and then the week's points per game, assists per game, rebounds, blocks, and steals per game. So for total points, you have Kevin Durant, number 1 throughout that week, 341 points scored.
Dog.
Stephen Curry, 326, second place.
Dog.
Luka, third place, not that far away from Steph, 324 points.
Dog.
Jason Tatum, 4th, 312 points. And Giannis, 5th, 286
Oh my gosh,
points.
did I forget to put Jason Tatum in my top 5?
You did.
Wow, I am stupid.
But I'm not going to lie. I really haven't heard that much Celtics buzz. I kind of feel like they've kind of been a sleeper team.
They've been very mellow, but that's what the Celtics were last year, and they made it to the finals.
Exactly.
Everybody started noticing them when they started.
Now, I'm not going to lie.
Televised.
Their playoffs run last season was probably one of my favorites in recent years.
Oh, yeah. If you were rooting for the Warriors last year in the playoffs, I hate you. I'm sorry.
Not even against the Warriors. I just love that all the teams they beat were teams they lost to in literally the year after year after year.
Yep.
They played the Nets swept them boys. Played the Bucks, beat them Game 7. Played the Heat, beat them through Game 6. They played 3 super good teams.
Super good teams. Jimmy Butler I'm going to say this. I think Jimmy Butler is a playoff basketball kind of guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Him in the regular season, he'll show up every once in a while.
But he really turns it up when he needs to.
35, 40, but...
And you can't even be mad because he went to his first finals against the Lakers, against LeBron James.
And what was he doing? Leading.
That boy was dropping triple doubles. Yeah. All right, for total assists through that week, Tyrese Halliburton first, 97 assists.
Who the hell is that?
What? Are you being for real?
No idea who that man is.
You don't know Tyrese Halliburton?
Nah,
he was on the Kings.
I don't know basketball, dog.
Yeah, all right. Chris Paul, 94.
Makes
second
sense.
place.
Makes sense.
Nikola Jokic, third place, 93 assists.
And that man is a center, folks. That's a center.
James Harden, fourth place, 90 assists. And remember when they said he couldn't pass?
Yeah, I do always remember that. I think also him having Clint Capella back in Houston was also a big key.
He had solid bigs.
And he had Chris Paul too. He had Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon was a decent 3-point shooter.
I mean, he's still decent to this day. He just kind of doesn't get as much buzz because they're a young team and he's the older veteran guy.
Right.
And then you got Trey in fifth place with 85 assists.
Yeah, they said Trey don't pass either because all he does is shoot, right?
Ball hog. Yeah, I know. But all right, total rebounds. First, you have Nikola Vucevic with 148.
That man plays for the Grizzlies, right?
Vucevic,
bro.
For the Bulls.
Who am I thinking of?
Who are you thinking of,
dude?
Because
Jonas
Valanciunas. He plays for the Pelicans.
Who plays for the freaking Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies have Steven Adams.
Bro, no.
Yeah, they got him a couple seasons ago. But second place, who you're thinking of, Rudy Gobert, 125 rebounds.
Wow.
Third place, Ivica Zubac, 122 rebounds.
You're right.
And Jarrett Allen is tied also at third place, 122 rebounds. And then Yusuf Nurkic is last place on 112 rebounds. Total blocks, we have Ivica Zubac with 27 total blocks.
Who's that?
He's the Clippers' big man.
Oh, Zubac.
Yeah, Zubac. He's on the Lakers. You have second place, tied for second, Brook Lopez and Nick Claxton with 25 blocks.
Claxton plays for the Nets. I know that.
Yeah. You have Bobo fourth with 24 blocks.
Bobo?
Yeah.
The big 7'1".
Big 7-foot demigod.
My boy.
And then you got Kevin Durant, fifth place with 21 blocks. Now, would you expect Kevin Durant to be in a top 5 for the week with blocks?
Yeah.
Defensively?
Yeah. Kevin Durant, bro, he plays D, but he's not. He's okay. Think about Kevin Durant is he's skinny, right? He's not going to be that physical guy in the paint where or he's just going to let you back him down, right? He's going to hold his ground eventually, but then when you go up, bro, he's 7 foot. His wingspan is.
But yeah, that is facts. But then again, no one really expects Kevin Durant to be the defensive guy. Because, he has the bigger guys around. Well, as big, slightly bigger guys around him to do his dirty work. But, Kevin Durant's actually playing solid defense.
Dog, man.
All right, total steals. Now, this is such a shocker because he is leading steals.
Yeah.
No. Number one, in first place, OG Anunoby of the Raptors. 34 steals.
This week.
He had... I think it said 30-something throughout 4 games.
Damn.
Or no, throughout 6 games. So he was averaging 4.4 steals per game.
That's wild.
DeJounte Murray, second place, 25 steals. OG's almost 10 steals ahead of second place.
That's crazy.
All right, then you have Dennis Smith Jr., such a shocker also, third place of the Hornets, 20 steals. D'Anthony Melton of the Sixers, fourth place, 19 steals. And then Shea of OKC, of course, 19 steals as well.
He is such a good player, bro. He really needs to leave OKC.
I think the Clippers really fumbled the bag on letting him go.
Bro.
I know he was young and he was a first or second year player.
He was 21. How old is he now? He's 24?
Probably, yeah. But I know he was a young player for them, but they gave him up so fast. And now this man is a stud on OKC.
Yes.
Now, I won't say he should leave because he's he's got Chet Holmgren that's going to be coming back next season. He's got younger guys around him that are actually pretty solid. Like, they can give you some buckets and they can play some serious defense. But they're just not a closeout team either, like most other young teams in the league there, to where they can close out a game and win. Exactly. But the Thunder, I don't think, are bad at all.
Shy. He's averaging 30 points per game. Mm-hmm. Hey, come on, man. Y'all are sleeping on that boy.
Yeah.
5 assists per game, 4 rebounds, man. He is 24 years old. Guess where he went to college?
Where?
Guess.
I'm not guessing.
Take a guess.
I'm not taking a guess.
It is a top 5 school.
I'll look it up right now.
Kentucky, you fucking fool.
That's what I thought.
God, I hate you. But, hey, Thunder actually are not bad. They got Josh Giddey. They got Chet, who's going to be coming back next year. They got Trey Mann, bro. He's still good.
Trey Mann. They got Lou Dort, who's been a defensive weapon for them as well.
Yeah.
They got Alexei Pokachevsky, or however you say his name. He's such a tall guy.
That man is one ugly-looking dude.
He's not bad, though. He's a
good player, but he is one ugly dude.
Yeah, they got some good guys.
Hey, I do have to ask you about this. Rookie of the Year rankings.
Yep, I wanted to get into that. Take it away.
Oh, that's all you, brother. I don't know jack
So
squat.
they just came out with their new rankings for the top rookies for Rookie of the Year, of course, right? So in the number 1 spot, can you take a guess who it could be?
Top rookie?
Yes, who their number 1 pick is.
Who was drafted this year that is a standout?
Plenty of guys.
I don't watch basketball.
So they got number 1, Paolo Banchero. Now,
he's been averaging 25?
Look up his averages right now because he has been spazzing for the Magic. He's actually been one of the most solid rookies to score that much in recent history since probably the 80s or the 90s.
Man, Pablo Banchero. Paulo, man, my bad. It's been a day, bro.
Yeah, I can tell.
He is 19 years old. He came out of Duke. Yep. 23.5 points per game.
Yep.
3 assists and 8.3 rebounds. You want to know why I like the Magic?
Why?
Picking.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because of Jalen Suggs.
Honestly, I love Chet, right? But Banchero is just such a more physical. He just has more meat on his bones too, as well.
Well, to be fair too, he's also actually trying to bully people in the paint. Chet, he's just big enough to where he's able to back you down and get a bucket, but He's not like the physicality type player to where he'll want to Shaq type you in the paint.
Exactly. But Chet is also a very good 3-point shooter.
Oh yeah, that he's like Cat, just with less meat.
Yeah,
and white
for sure. That's wild. That is wild. But hey, let's talk about our boy Jay Suggs, man. You see what he did the other day?
That boy had a game winner against the Warriors.
He did. Right in whose mouth? Klay Thompson.
Yeah, Klay. Oh my God. Hold on. We got to talk about Klay real quick. Now, do you think after he's came back from his injury, do you think Klay will be the type of player he was?
No. Unfortunately,
You
bro.
think his time has passed?
I think his primetime Klay has passed.
I've seen reports to where Klay, he's been kind of backlashing out against media now, and I've seen that he's been pretty upset with how people are talking about him, saying he's not who he was. He's not shooting as well. He's not defending as well. Now I'm not sure what kind of player he'll become with the rest of his career coming to a close.
I think what he needs to be is a mentor toward more of these younger guys in the Warriors.
I definitely think he could easily mentor Jordan Poole.
Yeah. I think Draymond also plays a big part in the mentoring. Granted, he did get in a fight with Jordan Poole,
which is insane. That should have never happened.
If y'all saw that video, that was wild.
Yeah, that should have never happened. I don't know why Draymond tried it. But yeah. All right, back to the Rookie of the Year ranking. So, yeah, number 1.
We're getting back. Hold on. We're still in that Klay Thompson category. I got a couple more things to say about Klay.
All right, keep going. Keep going, big man.
You want to know why he's not in this? He's not going to be the same guy. He tore his Achilles, and then he tore his ACL, then he tore his Achilles all in a year and a half? Mm-hmm. He's not going to be the same, bro.
Klay,
that ACL, bro,
I think it was the back-to-back seasons he was about to start playing. He ended up tearing something serious.
Yep. You can't recover from that, bro.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see him.
And people probably thought he was going to recover pretty well because KD tore his and he bounced back like no other. Now, that is not the deal for everyone.
No.
Some people who get those serious injuries will either be a shell of what they used to be or they'll just completely be done.
Yeah.
So, of course, everyone wants Klay Thompson to be what he used to be. That spot up 3-point shooter, that guy that can give you that tough defense.
Right.
But, recently he hasn't been shooting great. He hasn't been playing that great of defense. So, you definitely can't even say nothing about it.
No, it's sad. But now let's get back into your Rookie of the Year.
Right, man. Rookie of the Year. So, in the number 2 spot, Benedict Mathurin.
Don't know who that is.
Mathurin. I don't even know how to say his last name.
Who does he play for?
So he's a rookie on the Pacers. Now, he is a dog. Look up his stats.
I will. What college did he play for?
No clue.
Benedict what?
Benedict Mathurin.
Oh, Arizona. Yeah, he was good in college. He's averaging 19.4 points per game, 2 assists per game, and 3.7 rebounds per game.
Now, let me give you some crazy stats that he's already had in the first 10 games they've played. So it says it wasn't until his 10th game that he failed to score in double figures. It said by that point he'd already authored 4 20-point outbursts, including a 32-point performance in which he powered the rebuilding Pacers past Kevin Durant and the Nets.
The Nets, in my opinion, are dog water.
The Nets are getting dragged by everyone, it seems like.
I think the Timberwolves can beat them.
In a regular game or a series?
I think in a series. I am that confident in the Timberwolves. You got Anthony Edwards.
I'd say so.
D'Angelo Russell.
They can't even rely on Ben.
Cat.
And then you got the whole Kyrie situation, which we will get into after all this.
Will we?
Yeah. All right. And then in the number 3 spot, it's kind of different for these pages, but the NBA app is showing Jaden Ivey has boosted his way up into the top 3. Now, he is a rookie on the Pistons. You may look him up.
Rookie on the Pistons. Jermaine.
Jermaine? What do you mean, Jermaine?
What's his name?
Jaden.
Oh, I'm stupid. Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
Man went to Purdue. Oh, he was so good at Purdue.
He was tough with Purdue.
Ugh. Not bad looking either. 15 points per game and 3 assists for 4 rebounds.
Now, let me note off some stuff that's happened for him already. So it says he dropped an efficient 19 points in his debut, dished 9 assists in his second career contest, and corralled 10 boards in his third time out. He's had multiple steals in half of his 10 games, and he even had a 3-block performance in case the stat sheet wasn't already stuffed enough to you. So, yeah. So I can see why they propelled him up, but now I know you don't know much about the rookies, but there's some really solid rookies. Now I'll note some other good ones, not in the rookie of the year order, but Keegan Murray, he's on the Sacramento Kings.
Heard about him, dog.
Oh my God, he's so polished as a rookie. He can get some really good buckets, and he's honestly a good fit, I feel, for the young Kings. Him and De'Aaron Fox work super well, and them both scoring and being able to dish the ball. They still got Domantas Sabonis, really good big man who's had.
He played for the Pacers for a while, right?
Yep, he got traded. They picked up Malik Monk from the Lakers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Another insane scorer. They have a really good squad, and they've actually been better than some of the teams that you'd expect to be at the top of the leaderboard.
That's very true.
Shadon Sharp, he's on the Blazers. He hasn't gotten that much tick, and we did talk about him in the last episode. But he's a dunker. That boy has hops.
He had bounce in college.
Yeah, I saw a clip where he got thrown an oop, and that boy just threw that down. Now, I don't know much about him. I haven't really seen much of his play, but I do see clips of him, and he's actually a super solid rookie. And then, there's other rookies that can definitely be a lot better than they're playing right now. Not that they're playing horrible, but, they're names that people expected to go crazy. Like Tari Eason. He's on the Rockets. He's a big man. And even Jabari Smith Jr. Those are 2 Rocket rookies that got drafted there. And they just have not been playing that well. Nothing that has stood out to be able to make it newsworthy. Paolo's been and Jaden Ivey and Benedict. But, I can't say this is a bad rookie class. I actually like most of the rookies that have been playing.
For sure. Well, Do you have anything else you want to talk about in this NBA segment?
No, I think that'll cap it off for the NBA section.
Yeah, we're back with the NFL part of this podcast. I do just want to get off starting with the Sunday night game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans.
What happened in that game, brother?
Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 68 times.
68 times? Actually?
He completed the ball 43 out of those 68.
And what was that completion record or percentage?
I couldn't tell you, buddy.
Does not show?
No, it doesn't.
63%.
That is not a great completion percentage, but he got the win.
Yeah, they did pull out by 3, I see. To the Titans.
In overtime, which is also a little bit concerning for that Kansas City Chiefs offense as well. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, which is one of the best quarterbacks in the league for sure, and he will be for a very long time. You've already seen it. You've already seen him win a Super Bowl, I believe, in his second season. If he would have won a Super Bowl in his rookie year, I would have called him the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl that early and getting a ring.
Because he lost in overtime to Tom Brady, which, I mean, bro.
It's Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady.
That man was actually in this element at that time.
But Patrick Mahomes looked very good that year. Yeah. I also think the concerning part for me in that Kansas City offense is if they're able to get that run game going. Because when you get that run game going for the Kansas City Chiefs, they can open up the play action and they can start throwing the ball deep. They just picked up Kadarius Toney, who's a speedster.
Yeah, because rushing, Patrick Mahomes led the team in rush yards with 63. While, someone like Edwards-Helaire had 5 rushing yards.
That's horrible. That is horrible. Patrick Mahomes is not quick either.
And Helaire is not a horrible runner either. And that boy racked up 5.
Yeah, 5 yards.
On 4 carries? But note that. That's like a yard and some change per carry.
If that. Yeah. And then Travis Kelce, best wide receiver in the game.
Okay.
10 receptions. Please tell me
in that game? Or overall in the NFL?
And overall in the NFL. Who do you think is better tight end than Travis Kelce?
Oh, you said tight end. Okay. I thought you bugged and said wide receiver. I'm like,
I don't know. I mean, he's a dog. No, he had 10 receptions for 160 yards in that game.
And Juju also had 10 receptions, 88 yards. And Hardman racked up 6 receptions with 79 yards. So he actually, was dotting some of the good names and was getting them some good completions and yardage.
But also, you got Malik Willis on the other side. He threw the ball 16 times, completed that five times.
Yeah.
For 80 yards. That is, granted, he's a rookie.
That is horrible. A rookie, my butt, that's horrible. That is 31% he threw.
It's horrible. You're not going to win ball games.
And he didn't even throw over 100 yards?
No. Not even. You got Derrick Henry rushing 17 times for 115 yards.
He rushed more yards than you threw. And he had one more rushing attempt than he had a throw attempt, and he still had 35 more yards than
Exactly. And he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so 2 touchdowns.
But I think the most concerning part for the Chiefs is you put up 20 points against the Titans. Who have Malik Willis is your QB. Man, in my mind, that game should have probably been like a 30 to 17 game.
Yeah, and the fact that they were down 14-9 in the first half and just barely made it to OT.
Which is concerning, though. You think about how the Chiefs are just such a high-powered offense and how good they have been in the past. Obviously, that game against the Bills where they lost 24-20. Patrick Mahomes looked very efficient in that game.
And the thing is, that was 2 back-and-forth good quarterbacks who knew what they were doing with this.
2 of the best you'll see for a very long time.
Yeah, that was probably one of the good duels of the year.
Those 2 will be competing to get to the Super Bowl, I think, every possible year, unless one of them gets hurt.
Yeah.
In that game, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 25 times. Gosh, I'm stupid. Sorry. He threw the ball 40 times, completed that 25 times. For 338 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions, right? Obviously, the interception at the end obviously sealed it.
Yeah, that was a good one to win. I know that had some people on their toes. Ephraim.
Yeah, I was shitting my pants, ladies and gentlemen. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire also in that game. 33 yards on 9 rushing attempts, which isn't great. But granted, the Bills do have a very good run defense, I think. but they do have some weaknesses to that again as well.
Just wanted to drop in and let listeners know that you can support the podcast with small monthly donations by clicking the link in the description. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
He threw the ball 40 times, completed that 27 times for 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is what you want to see out of Josh Allen.
Exactly.
When he starts throwing interceptions, that's when the team looks like shit.
And he knows when they play like shit because he knows that goes through him.
Yep.
You're the one that's running the offense. You know where you're going to look to pass. You know what kind of pass you're going to throw.
Exactly.
You see the defense coverage out there. Like, if you know if you're just throwing bombs and throwing picks, you're not going to help your team compete in that game.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, for their so-called run defense, they let Devin Singletary, who in my mind, Devin Singletary is good, but he's not great. He let him run 17 times for 85 yards.
Which is insane.
Yeah. And then, obviously, passing-wise, you had Juju in that game going for 113 on 5 receptions, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Where Diggs, on the other side, 10 receptions, 50 yards, 148, obviously.
Which isn't surprising. That's Diggs.
That's Diggs. But also, the most concerning thing for me in the Kansas City Chiefs is their pass defense.
Yeah.
Their cornerbacks are not great.
Yeah, because I want to state, like, the game before the Titans, the game they had against the Niners. Now, they pretty much blew them out. It was 44-23.
That's the Chiefs' offense. That's what we're supposed to be seeing.
Yeah, they did great. Mahomes passed 25 for 34 attempts, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. And then you had guys like Juju, who had 7 receptions, 124 yards. Valdez Scantling, whoever the fuck that is.
He played for the Packers.
3 receptions, 111 yards. Kelsey, 6 receptions, 98 yards. Now, they did great offensively, but, y'all let Jimmy also throw 25 for 37.
It's
just
actually pretty efficient for
touchdowns.
Jimmy.
Y'all also let him get 303 yards. They didn't have anyone have over 100 receiving yards, which is pretty good. But, they had guys with 98 yards, 82, 65. You had guys rushing for 54 yards. McCaffrey with 38 yards. So there's definitely some more they can shut down on teams, but now this was probably one of the most positive looks I've seen from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just think, just kind of looking at some of the numbers here against Tom Brady. Obviously the Chiefs won that game 41-31, but Tom Brady threw the ball 52 times, completed that 39 times. But he also threw for 385 yards, bro. 385 yards.
Which is insane. That boy had no interceptions at that. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Justin Herbert, when they beat Justin Herbert 24-27, 27-24, Justin Herbert threw the ball 48 times, completed 33%.
334 yards.
Yeah. So, honestly, in my mind, if you're going to beat the Chiefs, bro, you're going to have to throw.
You gotta have a really good throwing game. If you have one guy that's able to rush pretty good, use that to your advantage. Because they're not going to stop that.
Chiefs are allowing 300-plus a game, it seems like, through the air.
Yeah. Which
is something you just can't have. They let Derek Carr throw for 241, which isn't bad. In the game, they lost.
And then you let a dude like Matt Ryan throw 27 for 37, 222 yards.
And they got the win. But also, Jonathan Taylor rushed 21 times for 71 yards. Isn't bad. But also, in that game, Patrick Mahomes led that team in rushing again.
Yeah,
that is something
yards on 4
Andy
attempts.
Reid and their offensive coordinator have to connect.
Edwards-Helaire, 7 carries, no yards.
Obviously the Colts defense is pretty good in my mind with that, but that's just something you can't have if you're the Chiefs.
And again, they had wide receivers with under 100 yards. They had no other running backs and fullbacks rushing for over 20 yards even. So yeah, they were definitely getting clamped defensively.
Yeah, that's just something that's just got to be fixed.
Yeah.
I do want to take a look here. It looks like we do have top 5 in receiving yards since 2020.
Now let's talk about this. Justin Jefferson. Boy's been in the league for only a couple years. Being drafted in that 2020 class at that. He is leading in receiving yards at number 1.
Yeah. And obviously, Jamar Chase came out of that draft too as well.
And it's crazy because they had Jamar Chase on JJ's level, and a lot of people are thinking Jamar Chase was going to be better, mainly because they went to the Super Bowl.
But that doesn't mean shit when you can't catch a ball 90% of the time.
Literally, you have a great QB in Joe Burrow, and they have the chemistry because they were both, they were both at LSU. But You got to be able to catch that ball.
I also remember they were talking in an interview. Joe Burrow. They were asked Joe Burrow, who would you rather have on your team, Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? And I think it was also the question came up like, who's the better wide receiver? Joe Burrow ended up saying something like this. It was like, both of those two are very different in the way they run. Like, obviously, Justin Jefferson is more of a physical wide receiver. He's got a bigger body frame.
And he's aggressive when he catches that
exactly.
ball.
But Jamar Chase has the advantage speed-wise, I believe. So
he has good route running for sure.
Yes. They both have very excellent route running.
They got great intangibles. They both got great hands. They both got great route running. They're tough to guard for a reason. They're not horrible wide receivers.
For sure. It's hard to game plan to stop those. Even if you double-team them, they're still going to find holes in your defense.
Pretty much. And if you try to do that, then that's just going to open up everyone else, which is going to give them a better opportunity.
Which you got Adam Thielen, you got T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson was a steal. I do not know why the Lions gave him up for draft picks.
7 for 7, 90 yards for us. Oh, beautiful.
Then we got Cooper Kupp as number 2. Cooper Kupp has been a dog since he came into the league.
Offensive Player of the Year last year, also securing a Super Bowl win against the Bengals.
Which was sad because I wanted Joe Burrow to win.
Yeah, he wanted Joe Money to win, but hey, man, the Rams came out victorious, and Cooper Kupp was just stellar, bro. That white man can catch.
He says that white man can catch. Give that boy a map.
But no, Cooper Kupp is very tough. He has very good route running. Oh my! They literally doubled and tripled that man, and he was catching over them like it was nothing. Watching, I have not watched the Rams play like that, mainly because they're not my team. I'm not gonna watch a team that I'm not rooting for.
Exactly.
But if it's the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals or something, I'm gonna watch, of course.
Right.
And watching him go against the Bengals. Who was it on the Bengals that was talking smack saying he'd stop them?
Oh, God. It was a former...
something Apple.
Eli Apple.
Eli Apple. Burnt toast. That boy was burnt toast. They were getting cooked by Cooper Kupp, and
Cooper Kupp doesn't talk shit. That's the thing.
That's what makes it even better. He's top for a reason, yeah. And he won Offensive Player of the Year for a reason.
We got number 3, Stephon Diggs. My man, Stephon Diggs, since he came out of Maryland, has been a dog.
Let's note this.
He came to the Vikings. Let's not remember this.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's note that. We have a current Vikings player, number 1. He's only been in the league a couple years. And we have a former star wide receiver for the Vikings, Stephon Diggs.
Mr. Minneapolis Miracle, man.
The Saints will recover.
No, dude, I think we have the Saints number in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So, skull, motherfuckers.
But yeah, Stephon Diggs. Of course, he went to the Bills, was it a couple years ago now? Did he get traded in 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically so that's when we picked up JJ.
Yep, so that was actually, in my mind, I was actually really pissed at that, but also...
Like, we traded a star to get a bigger star.
The Eagles passed on Justin Jefferson, right?
Insane on their part.
And they got Jalen Reagor, which, my man, Jalen Reagor is a dog.
Yeah.
But he is not on Justin Jefferson's level. No. Granted, what happened this year? We traded and we got Jalen Reagor. So... What goes in the mind of the Eagles GM when you pass on
Honestly,
JJ?
that's a lot of teams that passed up on certain receivers or even defensive players that end up giving that player up anyway to the team that could have drafted them.
Exactly.
And it's like, what's your point? You're just going to make that team a lot better for no reason, adding weapons.
Bears.
But Stephon Diggs has been, of course, one of the main targets for the Bills. He's been doing his thing.
This man averages 110 yards a game.
And it's impossible to stop him. You heard what he said. He's him.
What did he do to Jair Alexander in the Packers? I think he had oh man, I got to check these stats because he went off against those Packers. But also number 4 on that list, we got Tyreek Hill. What are we feeling about Tyreek Hill here?
I mean, you can't be surprised at that either. Cheetah is small. He is fast. He will beat you on the cut. If you don't stay in front of that man, you will lose him and you won't catch him. As his signature does, if he gets past you, he will peace sign you.
He did that to Antoine Winfield, but they ended up striking back.
Oh, God,
and Antoine Winfield ended up winning that. Number 5, we got Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is a dog. I'm not going to
Now, I am kind of upset that his Raiders team is just not being what he thought it'd be. Now, I'm glad he reconnected with Derek Carr because they were former college teammates, but Derek Carr had his little sparks in early years, but he's just been nothing short of special anymore. And Devontae Adams was such a stud on the Packers, of course. When Aaron Rodgers was actually playing at his best, they were hitting each other, and that was great to see, great to watch. And, I love Devontae Adams. He is such a tough receiver.
He is one of the best route runners.
Oh, my God, yeah. But, it's just I know he went to the Raiders for a personal connection.
And the money, too, as well. Because the Packers were not going to pay him more than $100 million.
Now, I'm not going to say, if he was on the Packers, it'd be any better. Because the Packers are 3-6 and the Raiders are 2-6. But
also think about it like this, though. If he was still in the Packers, you still draft Christian Watson. You still draft Romeo Doubs. What is going to happen? You can't game plan
I'd definitely
Devontae
say
Adams.
They'd probably get a few more wins than they got. I don't think they'd be 3-6. I'd say they'd probably go to 6.
I think they'd be 5-3.
5-3.
Oh God, wait.
No, that'd be
games.
either.
Yeah. No, we played 8 games.
They played 9. They played 9.
Oh, actually, they're bye. They didn't.
So you give them 5-4 or 6-3.
I think 5-4 is the right
All
answer.
Right, let's take a look at a few of the losses. A few of the teams they've lost to. So, starting off the season, they lost right away against the Vikings. They're definitely losing that game, even with Devontae.
Yep.
They beat the Bears and they beat the Bucks next 2 games. Now after that, they went on. They won the next 3 games, and they haven't won since October 2nd.
They're at a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, they beat the Bears, they beat the Bucks, and they beat the Patriots, and that was their first and only 3 wins they have. And then they ended up losing to the Giants. Do you think they would have beat the Giants if they had Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm confident.
They lost to the Jets 27-10. Do you think they'd beat the Jets?
Sauce Gardner is him. No.
I'd say they'd probably rack up another touchdown at least, but they lost to the Commanders by 2.
I think
they would have beat the Commanders, I'd say.
I don't know. Washington, if Chase, okay. Here's the thing.
Let's look at this game real quick. So, we'll look at the Commanders first. Now, Heineke, he 20 for 33, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, rushing wise, he had great rushers. Whoever Robinson is, 20 carries for 73 yards. Gibson, 10 carries, 59 yards. Samuel, 5 carries, 26 yards. Rushing wise, they had McLaurin, 5 receptions, 73 yards. Samuel, 5 receptions, 50.
You just said rushing instead of passing. You're supposed to switch.
My fault. Receiving.
There you go.
You had McLaurin, 5 receptions, 73 yards. Samuel, 5 receptions, 53 yards. They didn't have them, catching the ball that much. They were rushing pretty well, but they weren't getting too much going on the passing end. But if you look at the Packers, Aaron Rodgers threw 23 for 35 with only 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, he didn't even strike that 200 mark in yardage. And they only had 2 players rush, and they didn't even crack 30 yards. And then you had no one even go past 55 yards for receiving. Now, you don't think Devontae Adams, if he was still in that mix...
Oh, my God. He's cooking.
Yeah, he'd collect a lot more yards, and he'd definitely at least get him a touchdown. I'd say they'd beat the Commanders for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They lost to the Bills.
Yeah, they're not... No one...
Yeah.
Dude, my whole thing, even with the Vikings this week, if Josh Allen ends up playing against the Vikings, which I actually highly doubt now.
Yeah, I don't think
they're going to rest him. They're not going to take a chance, especially since they're 6-2.
Now, it makes sense considering we're the second best team in the league, but I don't think they care to stress that much just because we're 7-1.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, that division is good. It's getting good.
And even if they lose, they'd drop to 3 losses?
6-3. And
that'd probably be the most, if they'd possibly get one more. That still wouldn't be bad. Most teams are already past 5 losses.
Yeah, and I had the Bills at the start of the season going 14-3. So even if they end up going 13-4, that's fine. You just got to have a healthy Josh Allen in the playoffs.
Pretty much.
But I do also want to get in. This has kind of just sparked me into the top 5 wide receivers as of right now. In my opinion, bro, I have Justin Jefferson at 1. I do like this list. I like Stephon Diggs at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh, for top wide receivers. This season?
Top wide receivers this
So
season.
wait, who was your number 1?
I got Justin Jefferson, okay. Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I'm not gonna lie. This might be a hateful. I might get some bash. I'm gonna put Devontae Adams at 4. He is still a dog. He still is one of the best route runners in the game.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna slide AJ Brown at number 5.
AJ Brown, a sleeper for the Titans.
He does not get enough credit. I'm gonna put Tyreek Hill at 6. You want to know why? Because Tua Tagovailoa throws 5 to 8 yard outs. What does Tyreek Hill turn them into? Yep, he turns them into 10, 15 yards because teams don't want to come up and tackle him right away.
And he's small. It's so hard to tackle such a short guy that has speed on him, meaning he has good agility and he has good juking.
Exactly. So that's exactly why people are going to be like, oh, yeah, you don't have Tyreek Hill. No, he's not showing me something that's impressive.
Oh, wait, is A.J. Brown not on the Titans somewhere? Who's he
with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, my fault. A.J. Brown of the Eagles.
Yeah. But no, in my opinion, when Tyreek Hill is on the Chiefs, I like that a lot better because he can catch that deep ball. Is a lot more exciting to watch rather than him just catching little 5 to 8 yard routes. So my top 5, will say it again: JJ, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown. I'm going to put Tyreek Hill at 6.
All right. Now, I do want to get into the stats of Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown real quick. So, you have A.J. Brown, number 5 of your top 5 QBs of the season at the moment.
Yep.
Now, A.J. Brown has 43 receptions on the season, 718 total yards, 16.7 average yards per catch, and he has 6 touchdowns on the season.
That's more than Justin Jefferson, I'd like to say. JJ only has 3.
Now, I won't say I disagree. Mainly because the Eagles are 8-0.
Yeah.
And they have a pretty stacked team. Like, you can't say they... most of the moves they made...
easy schedule.
That, too. But you can't say they didn't make good moves and pick up some solid players.
You pick up A.J. Brown in the offseason, that is a walking W.
Yeah, I was like,
team.
no way they just picked this man up. But, yeah. So, I won't disagree saying he's top because A.J. Brown is very solid. Now, Devontae Adams of the Raiders, he is... Let's see what he's averaging. So he has 48 receptions on the season, 2 more than AJ, 658 yards.
Also, Derek Carr is your QB. Let's mention that. He was
that
with
too. Okay, yeah.
He's with Aaron. If he's with Aaron Rodgers, bro, dude, he'd have so many more touchdowns now. He'd have so many more receptions.
Yeah, he has 7 touchdowns.
Oh, that's still a lot of touchdowns.
That's a lot of touchdowns, but to be fair, they're not great even with him doing that well. And he's averaging 13.7 yards per carry.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, all right, you give me your top 5. What do you got in your top 5 wide receivers? I'd like to hear this come out your mouth.
I'm probably not going to be able to give a top 5. I don't watch football like my boy Ephraim. Just like he's not able to give the top 5 that much in basketball, I'm not able to give a top 5 in football. But I can thoroughly say that I can fairly agree with your list. Yeah. I'd probably, if I watch football, I could, or, if I picked up more on like other wide receivers, I'd probably give a few different options, but seeing what they're doing, well, your top 3 are definitely givens. JJ, Stephon, and Cooper for sure.
Yeah.
But Devontae and AJ, like, besides them two, what other wide receivers are you going to put over them two?
I think you could probably put Jamar Chase in the top 5.
All right, let's see what Jamar Chase is doing real quick.
But he's not healthy, though. That's my whole thing. I'm talking, we need players who are healthy.
Exactly. Because let's see. Jamar Chase, 47 receptions, 605 yards, 12.9 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns on the season right now.
Yeah, but also, I mean, Joe Burrows is just not getting enough time for Jamar Chase to get open either. The Bengals offensive line is booty cheeks.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can only do so much when your line can't really protect you like that.
Exactly.
You can't have time to spot out a certain person if your team can't even cover you that well.
All right, bro.
All right, is there any other NFL discussions you'd like to dive into, brother?
Oh, dude. I got more NFL topics to discuss.
Is there any more topics in this podcast episode you want to discuss?
Oh, yeah, dude. We got the OBJ landing spots. He announced his top 4 spots.
Yeah, he is. Now, have you heard that the Cowboys have been trying to draw him?
Cowboys. We got the Giants. We have Green Bay Packers.
Oh, you want to go back to the Giants?
Yeah, potential return.
I have heard him say he would be down with the reunion.
Yeah.
So the Packers?
Packers, he listed.
Ew.
I think he's just trying to play with the veteran QB. Yeah, kind of like Stafford, but honestly, if I was OBJ, you want to go to a winning team. So in my eyes, I'd probably pick either Buffalo or Dallas.
I saw Von Miller trying to draw. No, yeah, I'd say Buffalo or Dallas. Like, those are already 2 stacked teams, 2 good teams in the NFL. It'd make no sense to go to the Packers to me. Aaron Rodgers is not playing up to par. He has very not solid rookie QB or rookie wide receivers.
But also, everyone is hurt on the wide receivers on the Packers too as well.
Yeah,
which sucks. But I did see this quote earlier from Lil Wayne. He said they should have gotten rid of Rodgers before the season even started.
I did see that. Yeah, that boy wanted to get rid of AR.
I mean, it's not a wrong choice, but I don't know, man. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like ever since he outed himself and said like he did what was it, Perkies or something?
It was something weird.
He took some psychedelics before the game, and he would admit to like playing high. I kind of felt like that kind of stooped his game right after.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I think it'd be a waste of time for him to even consider the Packers. He should definitely just consider going to the Cowboys or going to the Bills.
He's got to go to a winning football team.
Yeah, I was say going to the Bills. I would so hate just because like they're already good enough, and you add motherfucking
but
OBJ is gonna be like wow.
I mean, the only reason why he went to the Rams last year is because Robert Woods went down with an ACL. Yeah. So he needed to take some pressure off of Cooper Kupp. So you add OBJ in that slot. You still got Van Jefferson. Obviously, you still got Tyler Higbee. And then it's like, okay, you still got a good O-line, a very good O-line. You have a good running back. And Matthew Stafford is an above-average quarterback. But
with at least he had experience over Burrow, which is probably give him a lot more depth in that Super Bowl.
I don't even feel like it's experience. I feel like it is more the
no, but I'm saying
side.
Like he's had more like pressure in the NFL.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, for
like
sure.
big time wise compared to like Burrow. Like I'm not gonna say like NCAA football championship games aren't high pressured, but
right. But
those
it's
are
not the same.
College is where
Bowl.
you score a lot. Like you're gonna go back and forth in scoring.
You're gonna score 50 plus a game.
Yeah, NFL, you're lucky to even touch 14 points. If you get 2 touchdowns in a high pressure game. Yeah. You're pretty good.
Super Bowl was like 23-20 in favor of the Rams.
Yeah.
And granted, the Cincinnati Bengals defense back then was not great.
Oh, my God. The Bengals just kind of started getting relevant again. I was actually a big Bengals fan when I was like 14, and it was just pain, okay?
Why?
I have
Carson
no
Palmer
clue.
Is your quarterback, bro?
Don't even talk. Yeah, it was mad pain back then, but... They've made moves and they're better now, of course. But you gotta give Joe Burrow at least a couple years, and I feel like he'll probably get up there.
I do want to talk about this little Josh Allen injury here. Mm-hmm. This man potentially has a UCL injury. It says a sprain, but this could be more serious than just a sprain. This could affect the Bills in the playoff run here.
Yeah, and you don't want them to lose confidence and shake their hope just because they're like, oh my God, we could be without our QB, the guy they've been relying on this whole season.
Exactly.
Someone they've been, in tuned with getting into their plays and all that good stuff. Now, I definitely wouldn't want the Bills to really worry about it, but
you're gonna worry about it.
Yeah, but you'd more so want them to stay locked in with the rest of the schedule and being able to know they can knock out these games even if he does go down and not come back.
So I mean, the Bills could afford a loss this week. They have the Vikings, they have the Browns, they have the Lions, the Patriots, Jets, a tough Dolphins team again, but this time it's going to be at home. They have the stinky Bears, and then they have a good Cincinnati team, which hopefully they should have Jamar Chase back. And then you have the Patriots at home again. So they can afford a loss this week against Minnesota, but that kind of just means they have to go on a tear, whether that's with Josh Allen or not.
Now, out of the remaining, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Out of those 8 games, do you think they're all winnable, or will they, probably get a few losses?
I think they're going to lose 2 games. I think they're going to win.
And then out these 8 games, which 2 do you think they'll lose? Besides the Vikings. I'm withdrawing the Vikings.
I'm going to say I think the Dolphins could be a close game.
Dolphins.
And I feel like I'm going to highlight the Jets game again. The Jets are actually a very sneaky good team.
Which is insane. No one would think that a Jets team nowadays would be a team to compete with. But yeah.
But it's not like a tough one. Exactly. And you got your quarterback Zach Wilson. Right. Granted, he was out for the start of the year, most of it, but since he's been playing, he's only thrown for 1,200 yards.
Damn.
4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. That is not good.
He's thrown 5 interceptions and only 4 touchdowns, and they're 5 and something?
Yeah, but think about it. Breece Hall, their running back, was carrying them before he got injured.
So he has more pass offs than he'd be throwing?
Yeah, what?
Like he'd be letting them rush more than he'd be throwing?
Yeah, Breece Hall was the offense. He was the whole offense, bro.
That's insane.
They were throwing him screens. They were just letting him run. But, ever since he went down, the Jets have kind of been iffy in the run game.
Now, the AFC East is literally up for grabs, though.
I wouldn't say it's up for grabs. I think it's locked in
at the moment,
2
looking
teams.
at it and knowing how pretty solid the Jets have been and how, a sleeper team like the Dolphins could probably sneak back into being great.
Night, buddy.
You can easily have a toss-up between the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not.
You never know, because like you said, if Josh Allen doesn't come back, now what if the Bills kind of crumble, and then you let the Jets and Dolphins sneak back up, and they drop to either 2 or 3?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's honestly, like you were saying. I kind of do think it is open.
They're all tied with wins, and they're only one loss behind the Jets, or what? They're one loss behind the Bills.
Yeah, right.
Or ahead of the Bills.
And it's like, now Miami and the Jets also have a 1-game lead in Buffalo in the division.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Patriots look horrible. I'm sorry. Mac Jones.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. They might be a win behind, but they have 4 L's right now.
Yeah.
They're one loss away from being literally exactly a 500 team.
Yeah. Which just doesn't look good. Dude, I don't know. I mean, literally the Bills' season depends on if Josh Allen can stay healthy.
That's what I'm saying. Because you look at the other conferences. I'm not going to say the NFC East is a toss-up. Just seeing how the Eagles are still perfect, and they could possibly not lose that much. And the Cowboys and Giants, sleeper teams again. Also, people did not expect them to be 6-2, and they're 6-2. Now they'll probably have a toss-up of going back and forth in the conference, but I don't think they'll surpass the Eagles. No,
because the Eagles have the cakewalk of a schedule.
Yeah.
Cowboys actually have a decent schedule.
But teams like the NFC North, we're going to crush the NFC North the rest of the season.
We're
already 4 games above the Packers and the Bears and 5 against the Lions.
4.5, dog. Yeah,
which is insane.
Which is huge, bro.
The AFC North.
AFC South, 4-5 is the top, and that's the Bucks. That's wild. 4-5. And the Falcons and the Bucks are 4-5.
You said AFC South? You mean NFC South?
Yeah, that's what I meant. You dig? NFC South.
Yeah, the NFC South is just butt cheeks all together. You don't even have a 500 or above 500 team in that conference.
I do want to talk about this, though. NFC West, Seattle. Geno Smith, bro.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Geno Smith. Jeez.
Dog.
Yeah.
You got the 49ers at 4-4, which obviously it is a struggle.
Now, him this season at the moment, 2,199 yards.
Jeez.
That boy has 2,200 yards through, 8 games played? He has 15 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He has a passer rating of 107.2.
Oh, man. I got this last. We got 2 more things to kind of go over here in this NFL section. We got these 2021 first-round QBs. We got Trevor Lawrence, we got Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields.
Oh, no. That I just typed it in there how it was. But basically what that is basically redraft them. And
best QB?
On how their play is now since they've been drafted.
I think I'm still going to take Trevor Lawrence as number 1.
I've heard people say that.
I think I'll put Justin Fields at number 2.
Justin Fields, okay.
I think Trey Lance slides at number 3. He just can't stay healthy.
But Trey Lance is such a solid quarterback. Oh, my God.
He's going to be very good.
Yeah.
I just think Zach Wilson, he's not great in my mind. Mac Jones, he can do what an average QB can do. So I'm going to put Mac Jones at 5, Zach Wilson 4.
Now, for me, I know Justin Fields has a lot more in him, but he's young. He's just not showing me a lot right now. Now, just with how he's been playing now, I'll take your list and just swap him and Lance. So I'll say Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Fields, Wilson Jones. Huh. But I do think Justin Fields will probably surpass Trey Lance.
Right.
But Trey Lance won't be horrible and be a second best. They'll probably be on par. They'll be on par with each other, I'd say.
For sure.
But it just depends on where Justin Fields can take his skills and propel the Bears and not make them look horrible. And Trey Lance, he already has a solid team. He just has to stay healthy enough to actually be productive for them.
Exactly.
And having Jimmy G as a backup definitely helps. So that kind of is even if he goes down, they still have another solid quarterback. Who are you going to think about with the Bears if Justin Fields is gone?
Exactly.
Right. So I'll just edge Trey Lance for now, but I definitely think Justin Fields will be a lot better.
I think Justin Fields also just needs to be put in a new organization. Also, I like Mitchell Trubisky. I don't think the Bears should have drafted him over Mahomes. That was obviously a stupid mistake. But
Trubisky, they're feeling that. They could have probably had a Super Bowl.
I don't know about that. I mean, okay, actually, you're not wrong. When the Bears' defense was super good with Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, and Akeem Hicks.
Damn, they did have Khalil Mack.
They just didn't have. Oh, no, because that was with their that's what Nick Foles, I believe, was their quarterback. And Nick Foles was not a bad QB back then.
I mean, we had that man, and he actually wasn't horrible.
Nick Foles? We never had Nick Foles.
Fuck, the one we went against Nick Foles. That's why I'm mad.
You dirty dog. Nah, but we had
fucking Case Keenum. Ugh.
He was a dog, bro. What do you mean?
He was a dog until playoffs came.
Bro, he literally led the Vikings to an NFC championship where we got smoked by that was actually when we got smoked by Nick Foles.
Exactly.
But that was our defense too as well.
Yeah, Case Keenum was solid, but he fumbled in the big time. So to me, waste.
Hey, let's talk about Kirk Chetta, baby.
Money.
Yeah, he's been playing on a different level this season. I'm really proud to see it. This is what we needed. This is why we paid him so much, and I think a little bit over too much money for Kirk at a point back then, but he's starting to finally live up to the hype.
I mean, I'm not surprised with the Vikings. They of course have some more trust and reassurance in him than most fans do.
You take a look at our offense, our running back, Dalvin. Wide receiver number 1, JJ. Wide receiver number 2,
Adam Thielen. We just picked up Hawkinson now. Our defense will get better, but we have such a solid D-line.
We do.
And so I'm not going to be mad that we're paying Kirk, but we're paying him.
When he's leading us to 7-1 and winning in tough one-score games.
Like, his only poor performance that actually amounted in a loss was prime time against the Eagles.
Yeah, but, dude, if you think about the Eagles at home this year,
I was about to say, it's a tougher environment to be literally in Philly. Philly's one of the most gruesome places to be in to play.
And honestly, if my whole thing this week was I was hoping Josh Allen would be good because I think the Vikings do need to lose to a good team. I think losing to like a Bills or even the Cowboys is just kind of knowing like, yo, what do we need to study?
Honestly, out of the few teams we face next, I wouldn't be mad losing against the Bills, of course, just because of how well put together they are.
We have to beat the Cowboys. We have to beat.
Yeah,
the Patriots.
I don't want to lose I don't want to lose to the Cowboys. I don't think we'll lose to the Patriots. I definitely do not want to lose to the fucking Jets.
I don't know, dude. The Jets are sneaky.
Exactly, and then you also have such a scary team to play in the Giants towards the end of the schedule.
I'm not too worried about the Giants.
I'm not either, but it's like, end of season jitters. Some teams kind of tend to.
Yeah, but think about it. If we can get out... Okay, so if Josh Allen plays on Sunday, I'm going to say the Vikings lose that game. I love the Vikings with a passion, but that is a tough Buffalo Bills team to beat. You got the Cowboys. I think that's a winnable game. It's at home. You got the Patriots at home. You got the Jets at home. You go 3 out of 4 games right there. Dude. We're 10-2.
We just got to keep our momentum up and keep, going on a tear.
Then we have the Lions, we have the Giants, we have the Packers,
Lions.
and we have the Bears. Like,
not
come
worried
on,
about
bro.
the Packers, not worried about the
If
Bears.
we can go 13-4, 14-3, that's tough. Because obviously, the Eagles potentially have the chance to go undefeated. I do think the Eagles drop one game.
Yeah, I think they'll probably go like 16-1.
I think they're going to lose to the Cowboys.
Cowboys?
I think the Eagles are going to
lose boys?
to the Cowboys.
I just need the Eagles to lose because I have to brag to someone.
Oh. Who's that?
Someone. All right. We're wrapping up the NFL segment of the podcast, and we're nearing the end of the episode. All right, Ephraim, I heard you had a funny story to top the podcast episode off.
Yeah, man. So I work for 1-800-GOT-JUNK, man.
Yes, sir.
And we were doing this house for this lady, and I'm listening to this podcast on, like, relationships, love, and just hearing, like, people's stories on how they connected. And I have my AirPod in, and I'm talking to this lady, and she's like, oh, what are you listening to? I'm like, oh, relationships, love. She's like, oh, you're struggling with that, too, huh? I'm like, what? I'm like, you're wild. She's like, oh, you just seem like you're struggling. I'm like, nah, I'm good over here. And she's like, oh, you just need to get freakier in the bed. I'm like, whoa, what?
I'm like, are you really trying to give me advice right now?
I'm like, you are a 50-year-old woman talking to a 20-year-old male trying to give me advice.
Like, we not from the same decade.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about you, but we raw dog over here. But okay. I was kidding. But nah, bro. Like, she was just tripping about it. And we ended up doing, this job was like 4 trucks, came out to like $5,000. She's paying in cash. I'm like, well, first off, I'm like, okay, we take credit or debit. She's like, oh, I got cash. I'm like, you have $5,000 in cash. She's like, oh, yeah, in an envelope. I'm like, all right. So she pulls it out. I'm counting all this. It's like $5,000, like $100 and something. She's like, oh, just keep the change. Bro, guess how much the tip was? $1.50.
Well, no way. She had $5,000 total dollars. She gave you $1.50.
She gave us $1.50.
Oh, y'all as a collective or each?
Oh yeah, no. As a collective. So me and my partner. So I'm a sales lead, bro. So I get 60% of the tips, and the partner usually gets 40%.
So you basically got like 90 cents.
Oh no, I told my partner, I was like, yeah, you can have the $1.50. And my partner's like, nah, bro, it's all yours. I'm like, nah, fam, it's all yours, big dog.
You take the dollar and change, man. I don't want it.
But then the worst part. So they call me Burger Boy. They call me Burger Boy because I eat Burger Boy at work, right? And we got to get these little Google reviews typically at the end of each job, right? Mm-hmm. And my partner is doing it. I'm like, hey, you trying to go get a Google review? He's like, oh, yeah, I got you, dog. So he's like, oh, would you mind putting Terrence in Burger Boy? What is the cuss?
Who said Burger Boy?
My partner. and of course, she's like, oh, yeah, I'll put Terrence in Burger Boy. She's like, wait, why Burger Boy? I'm like, ma'am, you don't even want to know.
She's why do they call you Burger Boy?
I can't tell you that.
Yeah, you got to disclose that.
So apparently I was eating a burger one day, and I set it down on the work seat in the truck. And then I picked it up and started eating it again.
Oh, my God.
That's foul.
You're a sick man, Burger Boy.
It was foul, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
We gotta redo the intro then. I'm your host, Sean.
It's your boy. Oh wait.
It's your Burger Boy.
Oh man, but nah, bro. I've had some wild stories at work, bro.
We can end off every episode with one crazy story from our job.
Ooh.
So if y'all down for that, we will be dropping this on YouTube like always. Let us know in the comments if you're down for crazy, funny stories at the end of every podcast.
Yeah,
like always,
we also are going to start telling some of the old high school stories as well.
We got a lot involved.
We have a lot of stupid stuff we did in high school.
Definitely.
Going from rip pans to basketball games to
and now we're grown doing this stuff, so it's even worse.
Yeah, we're like 20, almost 21. Yeah, So basically, my partner's gonna end off this video real quick because I forgot what I was gonna say.
All right, we're ending that. We're getting to the end of the second podcast episode of My Room Is on Fire. I've been your host, Tayshawn.
Man, it's your boy F. We appreciate all the love,
always
support.
If y'all want to listen to the podcast, we're on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, Anchor, go listen to us on Anchor. Google Podcasts, we'll be up on Google Podcasts real soon. And go watch our YouTube channel, F and Tay. We'll be having live episodes with, actual recording, and you'll be able to see us talk, see our notes, all that good stuff. We do, and probably after like one or two more episodes, we'll eventually go live with our live commentary. We'll have you guys tune in with us. We'll talk music, we'll talk sports, analytics, all that goodness, all that we talk about.
Anything y'all want to type, man. I think this next segment, we're going to try to get into some advice, whether that's just relationship or life advice.
Yeah, because if y'all didn't know, my boy Ephraim over here, the Love Doctor.
Love Dr. Peeps. Hey, I can't say too much about that. I don't want to spoil the next episode.
Exactly. We'll catch y'all in the next podcast. As always, we will be dropping podcasts every Friday, so make sure y'all tune in. We love y'all. We'll catch y'all next episode. I've been Tayshawn.
It's your boy Effie. Deuce.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. My Room Is on Fire will drop episodes every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Hope to have you tuning in again soon.